Okay, so let me bow in. So stand, kneel, sit, do whatever. I just quickly want you to kind of scan yourself and see where you are on the relaxation stakes. So are you feeling very relaxed? Are you feeling a little bit tense? If you were scoring yourself out of 10, what would you give yourself right now in terms of where you're at in terms of relaxation? Okay, so you can just feel how your body feels, what's going on in your head, how are you feeling emotionally. Just pay attention to all of that, and then maybe I'm going to call you back, and then I'm going to ask you to give you a score out of 10. So Steve, what score are you going to give yourself?
I'm 9.9 relax.
Wow. That's pretty good. Caitlin, you can hold fingers up.
Is this 10 would be relaxed then?
10 would be super relaxed.
Okay, probably about 6, 7.
6. Okay, Joe.
I think around 6 or 7, maybe.
Okay, John.
I would say about 8. I'm still got knee problems, so about 8.
Okay, Vitali.
5, 6.
5, 6. Finn.
6.
6. Derek, are you there? Would you like to shout?
5.
Was that a 5?
Yes, it's a 5.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now I'd like you to shut your eyes, and I'd like you to think of an occasion where you felt really positive. Somewhere where you felt really, really good, very confident. And I want you to think about how your body felt in that moment, how you felt emotionally, and to try and capture that feeling now. Try to reproduce it in your body, in your heart, and in your mind. Okay, and if you think you've found that, we'll quickly go around the room again and let's see what your scores are now. So Steve, you should still be way up there.
Yeah, I'm way up there.
That's very good. Caitlin?
Probably a bit more, say 8, 7, 8.
7 to 8, that's cool. Joe?
Yeah, 8 to 9.
8 to 9. Okay, John, have we taken you beyond 8?
I've got a full 10 on that one. I know where I was.
Okay, Vitali?
6, 7. I would say.
6, 7. Okay, Finn?
Nosing to 7.
Okay, Derek?
Same as before.
Okay, same as before. Fair enough. Most of you, there's an improvement there. And tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to explore what it means to be positively relaxed. So I want you to just try and keep hold of the feeling that you just managed to reignite. And if you can, to keep it and enhance it. So let's see if we can sort of make the flame blow a little bit hotter. Okay, so we're going to do a few more warm-up exercises. So put your happy, confident, inspired head on and do the exercises with that energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sideways exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reaching up for the sky, then through your legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're getting this, there should be a lot of energy in it. So you should imagine sending your key a long way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, left hand up. And you're going to drop it to your side and back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay. Down onto the ground. And you just stretching out in front of you. Now remember, I like you to have your arms nice and relaxed so you can feel your forearm on your legs and that your whole arm is going to slide along your legs. And you're moving from your center, but same intention of being vigorous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're super alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your legs, go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And sliding forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Toes together, soles of the feet together, and then just bounce your knees up and down, like you want to take off. So nice and vigorously. Good, okay. And I need to stretch my back out. So going into Caesar, I'm going to put my chest on my knees, basically. I'm going to do a few rolls, a few backward rolls, that's all, if you can. So tuck your left leg in, your right leg in under your left leg. Nice relaxed hands in your lap, nice relaxed shoulders. Send your key positively back through with your feet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Change legs. 1, 2, 1,
You can't do
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Change legs and come up to kneeling. And then roll. 1 and swap legs. And swap legs. And swap legs. And same side. Same side. And swap. And stand. Marvelous. And roll. And stand. And kneel. And stand. And roll. And swap legs. Good. God, blimey, that's the most exercise I've done in a long time. So, hi, James, nice to see you. So, on a scale of 10, how do you feel now? Steve, still right up there, I trust.
Yeah, I'm still up there. Haven't moved backwards.
Good, that's good to know. Caitlin?
9.
9, whoa. Joe?
Ooh.
9.
9, okay. John? Are you
Oh,
up
good
10
night.
anyway?
A good 9 on that.
Good. Vitaly. 8. Good, good, good. Finn.
Incremental 8.
Incremental 8. James. Score out of 10 as to how good you feel on a relaxation scale of 1 to 10.
Right, 7.
About 7. How did you feel when you walked in the room?
Flustered. I was doing some emails.
Okay. Derek, you probably didn't do the rolling, so we'll leave you at your 5, I think.
Pass.
Okay, pass. Okay, so the score's gone up. So now let's talk a little bit about, okay, what's gone on with you? Why have we managed to bring this score up? What are you feeling in your head? What's going on in your body? Because if we know what it is, maybe we can recapture it at will. We did. We moved that first one. We just thought about something. We were able to get that back. So we're going to do that in a second. I'm going to ask you for the qualities that you notice in yourself now that you would like to keep and recapture at will. But the first big question is, why is this important? Why do we want to feel really good, really positive, really relaxed, really ready to go?
We'll make better technique if we're more relaxed.
That sounds like a really good start, John. Yes, we make better technique. We perform better when we're feeling good about things. When you're not feeling sure about something, are you able to give your best then? It's a wholehearted no, isn't it? Really, if you're not sure you can do it, there's a pretty good chance you won't do it. If you're feeling confident, you're going to much more likely to achieve your goal. Yeah. So that's why it's really important. If you want to deal with big problems, you've got to feel confident that you've got it in your armory to deal with those problems. And part of that is how you feel about the situation, not panicking when the first time you have a problem. It's staying calm so that you can take on board all the information so that you have the best chance of coming up for the solution, whether that's someone coming at you with a sword or a knife, or whether it's your boss putting pressure on you to meet a deadline. It doesn't matter. It's exactly the same thing. So give me some things that were going on in your body when you got to your 9 or your 8 or whatever the high score was.
Warmth. I felt a warmth through my body.
A warmth. Okay. Pleasantly warm?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. Joe?
I felt the group. It's good to be with the group, so it's joy.
So there was some joy and perhaps a sense of connection there?
Yeah.
Right. So we know we've got no physical connection here, but when you feel connected with life, your environment, your situation, it's easier than when you kind of feel isolated and alone, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, that's one of the strengths of these sessions over the year, that we found a connection and a way to move forward together that made the isolation feel so much better than it otherwise would have been. Don't you agree? Yeah.
It's making that positivity
Yeah.
for not just for yourself, but for others.
Okay.
Because it's your your mind, if you've got a clear mind, then you bring that positivity right through yourself, your whole being.
Yeah. So Joe, I said what was going on in your body, but interestingly, what you came back with was what was kind of going on emotionally for you.
Yeah.
Can you give me something you noticed in your body?
Actually, yes. I was going to ask on your experience. I did kind of the same practice today in the morning, coincidentally. And early in the morning, my body's so rough, just like my back for rolling. I look like a completely square, just rolling on the ground. So for me, always practicing Aikido in the end of the day or in the night, I had another kind of energy.
Yes.
Besides in the morning, but in the morning it is so good because my day starts with another energy. So
Yeah.
what kind of different practices should I have in the morning or in the night? So that's part of the biological.
I would say that first thing in the morning when your body is tighter, you do it slower and not so vigorously. Just ease your way into it. So it's really good to do the exercises because you'll hit the day running as much sooner than you otherwise would, but respect your body, what it's telling you. Don't push it beyond the limits just because you know that at 5 o'clock you could roll like a circle instead of a square. Yeah, so just respect yourself. Yeah, that would be my advice. Finn, what did you notice, if anything?
Coming back to the sense of connection, but I was thinking about inner connection, so more connected and so more comfortable in myself before I was.
So there was a sense of kind of more wholeness within you.
Yeah, and taking the focus away from up here just to towards a more holistic embodiment.
So we let our body connect with our mind. Always a good trick, always useful. James, anything?
Just more connected, more
Right.
coordinated.
Okay, so if I asked you about how your muscles felt, did they feel tense or relaxed?
Relaxed.
Right.
Or
Okay.
basically no tension.
Right, no tension. Okay, so
relaxed is a kind of a strange idea because relaxed can mean floppy in some respects.
yeah, it can do, but we know that that type of relaxation doesn't get you very far when you're faced with somebody with a sword. It just means you kind of don't notice.
No tension, probably a better way to describe it.
Yes, positive relaxation is, I always say to my students, okay, if you want to be dead relaxed, well, there's plenty of time to practice that, when you're dead. But when you're alive, you want positive relaxation. You want the kind of party vibe, that sort of feeling where you're feeling up for it. You're noticing everything that's going on. You're feeling good in yourself. That's how you want to be as often as you can. And certainly when we're facing somebody who's attacking us, if we can even elevate ourselves a little bit towards that direction, feel comfortable with what we're facing, our chances of dealing with that are much, much greater. What about how centered did you feel? Vitaly, I'm going to come to you. So practicing in your head as you do, what did you notice?
Okay, what I want to say that actually my mindness and my thinking always connected with my body.
Right.
Because it's even a part of my illness. Because with MS, whenever you think positively and more confident about your moving, about your muscles, because whenever you're stressed out, you can get to spasm even in your muscle. And you start moving and feeling positively at the same time. You get it more calm, more confident, ready to accept the attack if it happens.
Yes.
So, and that's what I would say.
Sure. Well, I think you're spot
and
on.
more sensitive, I would say, because you can feel it.
Okay. So one of the big keys to dealing successfully with someone attacking you, actually doesn't just have to be on the mat, it can be just in life generally, is just being able to have your focus very wide. Once it narrows down, kind of just to a laser beam, you miss a lot of stuff and your ability to deal with it will not be so good. You've kind of got to be able to take in the whole of the person that's in front of you, because what you're looking to capture is not the first movement, it's the first intention. And that's a very different thing. You don't actually see a movement when the intention comes. There's just kind of a little bit of an electric shock, which with training you do learn to respond to, and you need to, because otherwise you're behind the game. Any comments before we try Ikio-Undo?
I was sparked. I was just reading about the spiders that have this when they fly with the webs, with the threads. Often there's no wind; it's just electrostatic charge in the atmosphere. It's one of those invisible forces that we possibly can tune into.
You're absolutely right. So if you ask me for a scientific explanation of how you pick up intention, can't nail that one for you. But I can tell you that there's something there that I feel, and without that feeling, I know I'm likely to get hit on the head if someone were attacking me shonen.
This is
get your timing right. John, would you agree with that?
yeah. This is sen or sen. Yeah, just ahead of the game.
Yeah. And it's also what they refer to as what's the word for empty mind, mushin, I think. So when they say empty mind, they don't literally mean there's nothing there, but it's like calm water. So it reflects perfectly what's going on. And if you're looking in a mirror, your mirror image moves exactly with you. If it were rippled, you miss a lot of information, so you're probably late. Okay, let's try Ikio-Undo. So recapture that feeling of a bit of a buzz, a bit of energy, feeling good, happy. You are in control of yourself. And so you're going to explore your limits of how vigorous you can be and still in control. So put a smile on your face as you're doing this. How much more energy do you create when you're smiling? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Swap. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go 4 ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And back to the start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So imagine every time you turn, there's somebody you want to greet and give them your full embrace energy-wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can think of them as being 4 good friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're going to make it 8 good friends now. 8 friends you've missed over the pandemic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Marvelous. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now swap feet. Another 8 people come into the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So a lot of people hate 8 ways as an exercise. They find it very confusing. I don't know whether that's any of you. How did you think you performed that exercise compared to how you normally do it? Was it better, worse, same, what? James, you can go first.
You've got a different count to why I normally do it. It'll put me off.
That's no good. Finn.
I do that a lot, but that's the first time I've done it as a greeting rather than a guard, and it's completely different. Thank you. To refresh that practice.
Good. It's a nice energy, isn't it? Right. And do you know what? That's the energy you want to give when you're receiving an attack, because you're looking to accept it, like you're accepting somebody coming to your door and you're welcoming it. You're welcoming it. You're not rebuffing it and saying, "Oh my God, I don't want this person." you know, you take them for all they are, including the attack. It's a chance to connect. That's the way to view it. Joe.
Weirdly, I haven't done a lot this exercise on the mat with just like several people around. It was only two people around me. But now picturing those persons, just like I started smiling, just looking at my imaginary partner. So it was interesting.
Good. Okay. Caitlin, any thoughts? You can go no. Okay, good. Steve, any thoughts? I'm sure you're doing this in your head.
Yes, I've done it in my head. It's when I do it on the map, this one, there's so many versions of it, but I'm not sure at the moment which version I should be using. But that's a visual thing. We'll sort that out.
Yeah, I don't really care how you were doing it in your head. It's more the feeling you captured and the energy you kind of felt you inspired. So,
Yeah, it's you feel the movement, because that's what you would normally do anyway.
right. Okay.
You know, you're talking about the physical sense. There's not a lot of room here, so I can't do that one in this room. So, but anyway,
Okay, John, what did you find?
Yeah, we call this Zengo under various positions.
Yep.
Sukiyashi movement, you can get in as well, succeeding feet as you're moving. So you can exercise your feet as well, your legs.
We call it Zendo Undo too, or Zengo Undo. So
Zengo Undo, yes.
in terms of the energy, what did it do for you?
Well, I like to try and visualize somebody attacking me. At each corner I turn at, I see somebody coming at me with shomen.
Yep, that's fine. How did you feel emotionally about that?
Well, as you know, my Aikido is very mechanical, so emotions don't come into my Aikido very much at all. Especially when you're in Newcastle at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night.
I do hear what you're saying, and I relate to it. I guess what I'd be challenging you to try and capture is the energy that you have and the physical capability you have when you're feeling really happy. There's kind of, you know, we have greater power, I think, then, and therefore, if you're able to receive an attack with a certain amount of compassion, love,
Yeah.
just accepting it,
yes.
I think you're able to deal with it better.
I do try my best, and I really enjoy being a student
Yeah.
this year, which has been very well liked. Teaching, and then suddenly I'm enjoying being a student, so it's good.
And I bet, I mean, you've been doing this for a mighty long time, but I will pretty much guarantee that you do it much more softly now than you did, say, 20 years ago, but probably far more effectively and with less movement.
Well, that's correct, because if you learn your basics, you can always go back to your basics. And once you've learned technique, you're never going to forget that. You're going to reduce and lose your strength, but you're not going to lose your technique.
Okay. So now you're going to think of your favorite movement, and you're going to practice it with that same feeling of confidence and positive relaxation. You're buzzing. Okay, so I don't mind what you practice. Pick your favorite and give it a go. In your own time. This is an exploration for you. Try to remember there's another person there in front of you. How are we doing, chaps and lasses? How did it feel?
Great.
Better practice.
Yeah, aren't we all, James? Finn?
Connected again, but just in another way, another aspect of connected to space, air, and environment, surroundings, the world.
Yeah, just thinking about our technique, of course, being aware of space as well as the other person is so hugely important. So imagine you're defending an attack and you're standing on the edge of a cliff and not being aware of space. Kind of could be a problem if you try to do a technique where you've got to step back. So being aware of what space is available to you is a huge part of where we're at. How do we practice that when we're in a normal club situation? Well, we've got loads of people on the mat around us. We have to be incredibly aware of where they are in order to throw someone safely, don't we? So that skill is something that we play with all the time, and so we should. And when you're walking on a crowded street, you're always aware of the dynamics of other people around you, and when you know, it's not often you bump into people. Kind of this innate sense tells you when to go left or when to go right, or maybe just stop for a minute. Any other observations?
Can I just, years ago, when we used to have big courses, we used to have a course nearly every month, a big course like Manchester or London,
Yep.
and there used to be a couple of hundred people on the mat. And by the time the instructor had clapped his hands for you to go and practice, by the time you found a small space on the mat to train, he clapped his hands to do the next technique. But I do recall that when we were training, you only had a few square feet of mat to practice on, and we never sort of crashed into each other. It was just, everybody was just geared to that.
Yeah,
Great
you're right.
things.
Yeah, I've been on those types of courses too, and you just adjust. You adjust the size of your technique and where you're throwing the person. It's usually right next to your feet, because that's all you've got. So that's all you use. So yeah, a really, really important skill to just be able to tap into and use. Any other thoughts?
Yes, I was doing Shihonage, and for me it was always very easy to lose my alignment with my partner. So
Right.
I was kind of going back when I turned it. I was always coming back to kind of trying to find the origin of the movement.
Right.
And where it began. So really, and getting back to look at my partner.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so question for you then. Who controls the speed of the move?
What, sorry?
Who controls the speed of the move?
Okay.
Okay. Always, no, it's always okay. So whatever pace they come, that's the pace you have to do the technique. If you go slower than them, they're going to catch you up and hit you. If you go faster than them, you lose connection with them, with the problem you've just described. So you have to blend and stay blended throughout. So a good practice when you have another partner is to have somebody vary the speed of the attack. They might start fast and then suddenly go slow and then speed up. And obviously anything between 0 and 60 miles an hour is possible. But can you, as the person doing the technique, can you feel that, and do you adjust as they're adjusting? Then you're two sides of the coin. Then you're one. But if heads tries to rip away from tails, it's a sad story. Nobody takes that money. You need the heads and the tails. Yeah. So it's well worth remembering that, because again, I'm sure John will reaffirm this, and James, you and Steve, you find that as students get more competent with technique, they want to show you how good they are by doing it faster and faster, but not necessarily with any reflection of what their partner's giving them. So they may think they look great, but actually they're not practicing as they should, because they need to match what their partner's giving them. John, am I talking rubbish, or is that true?
No, there's a saying that speed costs technique.
Yes. James?
Yeah, I think the slower the better,
Yes.
especially in the beginning.
Yes. So one of the things that sorry, you can carry on.
I think that's the hard part for people to learn.
Yes,
Doing it slower is actually a far better way to learn it faster.
it is. You pick up much more stuff when you do it slowly than if you do it fast. So one of the things that we've done in our sessions here is to do it at kind of a Tai Chi in the park type speeds, and trying to notice what's going on in our body, and trying to be more in control of our bodies, because we're not racing to do this. So yes, very much what you're saying, James. Go back to 0 miles an hour before you try to do anything at 60. And even if you think you can do it at 60, go back and revisit 1 mile an hour occasionally, because there's probably something you missed that you can introduce later on, that you become more aware of over time. Okay, so I think that's probably a good time to call this a day. So any final comments or thoughts? Okay, I will then wish you all a lovely week. I will see some of you, if not all of you, on Thursday. We have a terrific session lined up.
Just one thing, Quentin, at the edge of the cliff, I would put my brakes on my wheelchair.
Do you know what? That would be a smart thing to do. Yes. The equivalent of that for those who are not in a wheelchair is to make sure you're really grounded and you hold your space, as opposed to give it up. But it's the equivalent of putting the brakes on, anchoring. Yeah. Okay, guys and girls, lovely to see you. And I will see some of you on Thursday. All right.
All right.
All right, Quentin, thank you.
Bye, Jerry. Lovely to see you, or not see you, but hear you.
Great connections. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye, everyone.